Are you one of those people who lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations from the day, or worrying about tomorrow, while your body begs for rest but your mind just won't turn off? If so, you're not alone. Insomnia is one of the most common sleep disorders, affecting millions of adults in the United States and around the world. For some people, it's an occasional frustration, a few nights here and there of tossing and turning. But for others, it becomes a chronic problem, showing up 3, 4, even 5 nights a week, leading to exhaustion, irritability, and serious health consequences. And here's the shocking truth. According to the CDC, about 14.5% of adults report trouble falling asleep most nights, or even every night, just in the past month. Think about that. That's millions of people dragging themselves through their days, surviving on caffeine, sugar, and willpower, instead of waking up feeling restored and energized. Traditionally, people turn to quick fixes: a cup of chamomile tea, blackout curtains, melatonin supplements, or prescription sleep aids. But what if I told you that the answer might not be found in a pill bottle at all, but in something far more natural and accessible? A brand new meta-analysis published in BMJ Evidence-Based Medicine analyzed data from 22 randomized clinical trials, comparing different non-drug treatments for insomnia, and the results are fascinating. Among acupuncture, massage, and cognitive behavioral therapy, 3 types of physical exercise stood out as particularly effective for improving sleep: yoga, tai chi, and simple walking or jogging. Now, this is where things get really interesting. We've always known that physical activity is linked to better sleep. The more you move during the day, the more likely your body is to crave rest at night. But most of us assume that means heavy workouts, intense cardio, or hours at the gym. What this research shows is that low-intensity, low-impact activities, things almost anyone can do, can actually transform your sleep patterns. Let's dive into each one and explore not only what the science says, but why it works, and how you might start incorporating it into your life. Let's start with yoga. Yoga is more than just stretching. It's an ancient practice that combines physical postures, breath control, and mental focus. In the studies, people who practiced yoga 2 to 6 times per week for just 1 to 4 months were able to increase their total sleep duration by nearly 2 hours per night. Imagine adding 2 full hours of quality rest to your nights without changing your diet, without taking a pill, without spending money on gadgets. On top of that, they also reduced the amount of time they spent awake after falling asleep by an entire hour. That's an incredible improvement. And the explanation makes sense. Yoga encourages deep breathing, enhances body awareness, and quiets the mental chatter that keeps so many of us awake. Stress and anxiety are among the most common triggers for insomnia, and yoga directly addresses both. By engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, you shift your body into a state of calm, where sleep comes more naturally. Now let's talk about Tai Chi. At first glance, Tai Chi might look like a slow, almost meditative dance. It's a traditional Chinese martial art, but instead of high kicks and fast punches, it involves a series of slow, flowing movements paired with deep, mindful breathing. In the clinical trials, people who practiced Tai Chi 2 to 3 times a week for about 3 to 4 months increased their total sleep duration by more than 50 minutes and spent 30 fewer minutes lying awake in bed. That may not sound dramatic, but think about the difference an extra hour of quality sleep could make in your life: better mood, sharper focus, stronger immune system. Tai Chi is gentle on the joints, suitable for almost any age, and it's been shown to reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve balance. In other words, It not only helps you sleep, it improves your overall health at the same time. The third exercise is one of the simplest forms of movement we all know: walking or jogging. You don't need expensive equipment, a special class, or even a gym membership. Just 3 to 5 sessions a week, lasting between 30 and 75 minutes, over the course of 3 to 6 months, were enough to reduce insomnia symptoms in measurable ways. Walking and jogging work by increasing energy expenditure, helping you feel physically tired at the end of the day, but they also influence your hormones. They lower cortisol, the stress hormone that spikes when you're anxious, and they increase melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. They also improve mood through the release of endorphins and serotonin, which can fight the depression and anxiety often linked with insomnia. In other words, going for a walk is not just good for your heart and waistline, it may also be the cheapest and most natural sleep aid available. Now, you might be wondering, if exercise works so well, why don't doctors prescribe it as the first treatment for insomnia? That's a great question. The truth is, the first-line treatment recommended by sleep experts is still cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI. CBT helps people change the way they think about sleep. Many patients with insomnia become trapped in a cycle of dread, lying in bed convinced they won't be able to fall asleep, which ironically makes it harder to relax. CBT interrupts that cycle, teaching patients to adopt new habits and attitudes that make sleep less stressful. Research shows it can be just as effective as medication, and the improvements last longer because you're retraining your brain. But here's the catch: CBT isn't always accessible. It can take weeks to work, it requires trained therapists, and not everyone has access to that level of care. That's where exercise steps in as a promising, drug-free, and cost-effective complement, or even a standalone option, for many people. The fact that 3 simple forms of movement, yoga, tai chi, and walking, show such consistent benefits means that you have tools at your disposal right now, without waiting for a prescription. Of course, there are some important things to keep in mind. Experts recommend starting slow and listening to your body. You don't need to commit to an hour a day right away. Begin with 10 minutes of stretching, a short walk around your neighborhood, or a Tai Chi class once a week. Consistency matters more than intensity. Also, timing your exercise makes a difference. Working out too close to bedtime, especially if it's vigorous, can leave you feeling too alert to fall asleep. Most experts suggest exercising earlier in the day or at least a few hours before you plan to go to bed. And let's not forget, insomnia can have many causes. Stress, poor sleep habits, chronic pain, medications, and even genetic factors all play a role. If your insomnia is long-term or severe, you should always consult with a healthcare provider before making big changes. But for most of us, moving our bodies a little more could be one of the simplest, most effective ways to reclaim our nights. So, the next time you find yourself wide awake, scrolling on your phone at 2 in the morning, remember this: you don't have to suffer night after night. Yoga can calm your mind and ease your stress. Tai Chi can center your body and reduce anxiety. Walking or jogging can reset your hormones and tire your body naturally. 3 simple exercises, 3 powerful tools, that could help you win the battle against insomnia. And maybe, just maybe, the path to better sleep starts not with a pill or a gadget, but with a mat, a park, or a simple pair of sneakers. Because at the end of the day, the best medicine for a restless mind and a tired body might just be movement itself.